to go, Matt? Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Peter Nankivell. I'm the Vice President of the Hawthorn Football Club. I'm acting President at the moment. Jeff Kennett's overseas. Thank you for coming out here. Our CEO, Justin Reeves, to my left, will now present to you a statement, and we will both be prepared then to take questions in relation to the contents of that statement and any other matters relevant for your consideration.
Thanks, Peter. Earlier this year, the Hawthorn Football Club engaged external First Nations consultants to liaise with all current and former First Nations players and staff to learn more about their experiences at our club. This was always about finding out if anyone required any further support in their life after football. This was really important work. I read the report like you guys today. It's tough reading. It's heartbreaking. We said in our statement earlier this morning that these allegations are extremely disturbing. We are profoundly disappointed that some of our former players and their families feel like this about their experiences at the club. The club will continue to offer support to those who have participated in this process, and their well-being remains our priority. As per the recommendation from the report, the information was provided immediately to the AFL Integrity Unit. The AFL have this afternoon announced an external review of which we fully support and will cooperate fully. It is entirely appropriate that there is a thorough investigation from this report. Happy to take any questions. I think Australia has a culture problem historically. I think, like all of us, we focus on every day being better and building a great environment for our club. And I feel confident from the report as well that currently our players feel culturally safe. But like so many institutions, I think we have to face our history and our past, and we have to act responsibly, and we have to cooperate and move forward from that.
Do you think the safety of players was...
Did you have a sense of the gravity of some of these allegations?
No, I can honestly say, Lauren, that prior to the report being received, there's absolutely zero of this ever being relayed to me.
Do you think the safety of players was put at risk in the quest for premierships?
It's hard to tell. I mean, I wasn't here at the time, and I don't want that to be a cop-out, but I think that what happened, we can only act on what was produced in the report, or those conversations that have come through the report, and I don't know. There has been nothing within that report to say it was purely around that, but I think the environment needs to be looked at.
You weren't here, but other people at Hawthorn, including
Sorry,
Sam...
one at a time.
You weren't here, but other people that are still at Hawthorn now, including Sam Mitchell, were here at that time. Have you spoken to them about their understanding of what happened in that period? Yeah,
we've spoken to a really wide range of people who were at the club at that time, and it's been a surprise to everyone that I've spoken to, the findings of those report. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to speak directly to those affected, but certainly the people that I've spoken to are unaware of these allegations historically.
And does that include Sam Mitchell? He was unaware.
Sam Mitchell. We're always concerned. When you do open an investigation or to anything of your past, you never know what may emerge. So, I mean, you're always concerned, but you're always interested. And if you go about it with the lens of we're doing it for the right reason, and that is to make sure that our people, if required, get the support that they require, then that's validated from me every day of the week. This process was initiated by the club, and it was to speak purely to our First Nations past players and staff. We had no idea of what was to come out of those conversations, so we didn't speak to anyone outside of that group. While the consultants didn't speak to anyone outside of that group, because it wasn't an investigation as such. There was no allegations, or it was more of for us, as I said, to check in on people's welfare, well-being, post their time at the club. So no.
And this discussion with today.
With
I've spoken to their manager. No. No, that was conversations in relation to the status of the inquiries to date. I was checking in, really just both of them are past employees of the Hawthorn Football Club. They're well represented by James Henderson, and I really wanted to do that. Yeah, December 2014. Yeah. No, none whatsoever. And I've been calling around other board members and historically, and to make sure that we didn't have a blind spot to this, and no other board members.
Justin, can I just clarify? You said today that you saw the allegations today for the first time. Is that correct?
No.
2 weeks ago was when you...
We received the final report of the allegations on Wednesday of now, not last week, the week before. And we made first contact with AFL Integrity immediately after that.
Just on that, so it seems to be free, so you had a report for 2 weeks, given to the AFL last week. It was reported in the initial report this morning that Hawthorn has only offered the families involved since becoming aware of ABC schools.
No,
that's... Should you have happened sooner?
No, yeah, well, it's more complicated. The report that we received was de-identified, so actually unaware of who the people and the partners were. What we have done from the minute the report was received was offer any support that we could do, whether that was immediate, and we have actually provided some support and some respite way prior to this ABC report even being surfaced.
That was last week. We provided that respite last Wednesday.
The other question that was put to the AFL this morning sort of related around having received the report. Gil McLaughlin ran through that it was confidential, report was to remain that way. Was that the plan for the club?
I mean, the plan for the club was always that this was an exercise in engaging an external consultant to go and have discussions with our former and current players and staff to learn about their experiences from the club. That report came back with some quite disturbing allegations that we acted on straight away. The report was put together in a confidential manner. People signed away confidentiality, and we must respect that confidentiality. We don't, still to this day, it's still de-identified.
Have either of you or anyone at the club spoken to Jason Burt since that report came into your hands 2 weeks ago?
I called Jason yesterday and left a message. I haven't spoken to him.
But we again offer all of our people any support that we can provide. We've reached out via one way or another to everyone that we feel is appropriate.
What assurances can you give perhaps young players getting to the club or your supporters that it is a culturally set environment right now?
Yeah, we'd like to provide as much assurance as we can. I met with one of our current players this morning. We had a really open and frank conversation. He feels culturally safe, but we will continue to challenge that, and we'll continue to move forward and continue to strengthen those programs.
Do you think this review needs to be extended to players, not just First Nations players, but other players and what they were aware of at the time or how they felt? Perhaps these issues were not just centred to those players.
I think that we will continue as we work through these allegations and the processes that are put in place by the AFL. We'll continue to engage all of our family and all of our stakeholders to make sure that anyone who feels that they need support gets that opportunity, and we won't leave any stone unturned in that pursuit.
How far is the club willing to take the findings of this report? And obviously, as you said, there are people that are still here now that will potentially involved. If those people are found to have committed some of these things that are being claimed, how far is the club willing to go? His role over this?
The club will always act in the most appropriate and responsible manner. We have a board, a governance in place. Certainly the club won't be discounting anything or sort of forecasting anything And for the future, we'll take everything on its merits and act what we think is the best interest of all of our people.
I have, yes, a couple of times. Yeah. Oh, Jeff, like all of us, is devastated. There's no other word for it.
Thanks for coming out here today. I know it's
Thank
a
you.
trip up the Monash, but thank you.
Thank you.